That shit don't pop in the hood, man. I'm talking about the grimy nigga in the hood. I don't know what little supposed to.
Live from Studio B in the Annenberg School here at USC, this is the Taco Troy, where we talk a big game and have even bigger opinions. I'm Kyle, that's Tyler. It's Monday, so you know what time it is, Tyler. We have to discuss some things that happened over the weekend, and obviously, it's Final Four season. Elite Eight just wrapped up. Some exciting finishes in the men's tournament. What are your thoughts?
Banger finishes, especially UConn making that comeback against Duke. It feels like the March Madness tradition is Duke coming and choking yet again. But either way, I think we had some amazing matchups, and the madness is still alive, regardless of whether we're still having Cinderella, stories or not. We have March, we have moments, and that's what we're here to talk about, and that's what we're all here for. And I love it.
I mean, it was exciting. I gotta say, Duke, UConn, you're up by 19. I don't know how some people feel about that, but Dan Hurley obviously felt some type of way, along with his mother in the stands. She was jumping for joy, said a whole lot of words, some that we can't say live on air.
No.
But she was able to really exert her energy and show her excitement for her son. But for the Duke side of things, it was unfortunate for them. Obviously, they went pretty far last year, couldn't come up to where they wanted to this year. But, I mean, the Boozer twins did their job. One of them possibly may have fumbled it, but, that's just the name of the game.
Yeah.
That's what happens, and you just see the sidelines. I mean, Mullins comes up, clutch three, bang, knocks it down, and calls it a night for the Blue Devils.
And he's a freshman.
Yeah, you talk about a guy right there. Sir, you are now being watched by everybody. The FBI, your parents, the NBA, anyone who wants to watch you, because what a shot you had. If the ball's in his hands, I'm letting him take it 100% of the time, especially when you can knock it down like that with 10 seconds to go. What a performance from that kid. But, I mean, so far this tournament, obviously we're down in the Final Four. It's Michigan, Arizona, UConn, Illinois. I had Arizona winning the whole thing. Everyone wanted to say I'm just picking the favorite. This team has been phenomenal all season long.
Yeah.
They've been my favorite. I haven't changed. Some people want to call me a bandwagon. So what? My team is in the Final Four. They're going into the championship. The Wildcats are going to beat the Wolverines. But as far as UConn and Illinois, though, I don't know. This is an interesting matchup because there's no number one seeds in this Final Four. It's a number 2 and a number 3. But Illinois able to come up clutch against Iowa. Iowa had a little bit of a lead in that game.
Yeah.
But now they're going up against UConn. Now, UConn, obviously, that amazing team that we saw in the Elite Eight against Duke. Who do you think is going to win this matchup?
I believe in momentum carrying over. I think UConn can ride this going through. I will say, you can give Illinois, I guess, a little bit more leeway or credit, saying Iowa, maybe they just had a fantastic game against Florida, ran out of steam, ran out of momentum. Illinois was still playing great and had a wonderful season as well as a wonderful run in the tournament. But there's something special on the side of Dan Hurley and that team. I don't know if you can just count them out of it, which is why when I look at this matchup, I think it's easy to look and say, this Arizona Michigan matchup is the true final of the tournament, as some people have been talking about. But the madness is still alive. You're still coming up with clutch moments. And I think if you have a group of guys who ride on the momentum of a walk-off win like that and just an amazing clutch moment, it's hard to say they're out because they're feeling some type of way. They're going to bring the energy. They're going to bring the heat. And especially when you're a team that, I guess, looking at it just from a statistical point of view, that you've been counted out, you start to play hey, we got nothing left. Let's go all out and show what we can do. And I want to see that kind of ball, in March Madness.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing the Fighting Line now. You talk about a guy like Keaton Wagler. I mean, this dude, 25 points, led the team to the victory over the Hawkeyes. But in that game, around the second half, I mean, the Illinois team kind of came out a little slow after halftime and looked like the Hawkeyes had a lead.
Yeah.
But they were able to fight back. But now you're going up against a UConn team, like you mentioned, riding off that wave. But if we go to the other side for the Wildcats and the Wolverines, this is a matchup that has been anticipated for all season long. Michigan, Arizona have just been two teams that people have been watching. You got Braden Berries on one side, Yaxel Lindenborg, Ade Maya on one side. Like, this is going to be a matchup. And you talk about big guys, good basketball, fundamental basketball. I mean, it's really going to show. But for the Wildcats, Final Four appearance, a lot of people say Arizona always goes to the dance, can't get it done, comes up short. I think this is their year. I don't think anyone's really going to stop them. I think what they've been able to show, they've been playing good fundamental basketball. Yeah. When they played against Purdue, they showed up, showed out. But that game against Arkansas, they had 109 points and 88 points that they only allowed for the Razorbacks. A lot of people said in that game, they played almost near perfect basketball. Yeah. And ultimately, they've been on a consistent streak. They beat Purdue. That was an amazing game, too. Yeah, I mean, they were able to come out hot against the Boilermakers, a team that a lot of people had as their favorite to win the whole thing. Oh, yeah. I mean, Trey Kaufman-Renn wasn't really that good from the field, 5 for 14, 10 points. But for Koa Pete, I mean, that kid, 20 points. And a lot of people said this trajectory of the Wildcats started with Bronny James getting recruited. Or not Bronny James, sorry, Bryce James. Getting recruited. And for a guy who hasn't really played that much, I guess his impact is pretty known on this team. I mean, it's led this Wildcats team to the Final Four.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, what, they let him cut the net down or something?
I mean, yeah, he got his piece. He got his piece.
He got his piece. I really think this Michigan-Arizona matchup is going to come down to a lot of consistent three-ball shooting. I think when you see Michigan at their best, it's when they're shooting the three-ball. And that's what made them, in my mind, a high contender going in at the start of the season, where it was a team that wasn't shooting the three-ball particularly well against some of these Big Ten teams, but then still coming out on top. And then when they started facing better teams and had some of those struggles, then it was evident. I think they've come back to that a little bit more during this tournament. But to your point, the consistency out of Arizona is crazy. They shoot the three ball, they know how to drive in, and that defense is something that's going to give Michigan a lot of problems. So I guess my take on it is, from a consistency level, I feel like the safe pick is Arizona, but if you take Michigan at their highest, it's going to be Michigan. And I think that can be brought out of
Wow, you think Michigan? Really?
I think so.
I think this is going to be like between 5 points, realistically. I think it's going to come down to the wire. And whoever's going to win, it's going to be close. It's going to be within no more than 5 points. It's going to be the difference maker.
So it won't be.
We see St. John's and Duke. That was 5 points. Yeah. We see the UConn Duke game, literally like 3 points, less than a 3-pointer at the end, and it's very minimal, that margin. I think this margin is going to be similar.
I'll do you one better. I think it'll come to that, and I think it'll come down to an overtime matchup.
Wow. All right, so Tyler's saying it right here. We got an overtime Arizona, Michigan in the Final Four. I mean, that's an interesting take, I got to say, Tyler. Yeah. I don't know about that. I think it has a good chance. But first, let's talk about, going to the other side of this March Madness is the women's. I want to take a quick look at this. Yep. Obviously, the Final Four has already been filled for two teams already, and that's UCLA and Texas, both number ones. UConn, obviously, in there. Yep. And then they will play the winner of South Carolina TCU, which is currently happening right now, as South Carolina is up by 8 points. Obviously, it's going to be UConn, South Carolina, UCLA, Texas. But the game to watch here, I got UCLA beating Texas. The game to watch is going to be South Carolina, UConn.
I was going to say the same as well. That's
two
South Carolina
monster teams. UConn undefeated on the year. I have them winning the whole thing. I just think AZ Fudd, Sarah Strong, they have been so amazing to watch. I mean, they get to the lane, pull up, jumper, knock it down in any of these girls' face. Really been unstoppable. And if you look at their last game, when they played Notre Dame against Hannah Hidalgo and the Fighting Irish, I mean, Hannah Hidalgo's an amazing player. But this UConn team just made them look completely different. I mean, like, they were able to put up shots and act like it was nothing. Like, AZ Fudd was out there balling like a guy. And that's something that she is able to do. And I know a lot of people compare women's basketball players to men, but I mean, her fundamentals are just there. And that's the standard of basketball.
And when you got the skills, when you got the talent, like, that's what's going to get you far in these things. That's what's going to get you. I am wondering, like, who are, like, your clutch players then out of, like, UCLA, Texas, and this South Carolina team that you think, like, maybe in a moment they can catch it off guard? Or do you think it's just UConn up here, everyone else just trailing, and they'll never let anyone get close?
I think for UConn, they got to put the pedal to the metal. They can't get comfortable because UCLA is a good team. Yeah. They got Lauren Betts. They got the Betts twins. I think they Kiki Rice in Texas. Madison Booker. She could easily get you 40 on a good night. But if UConn slips up, but they haven't slipped up all year, so it's like I'm not expecting them to.
Yeah.
But like you're still hungry. You're trying to get another championship. You've dominated in this sport, especially with this team in this bracket for so long.
Yeah.
And obviously USC is not in it. But next year they will be.
Next year we will be. We're gonna have
Next year-
Jazzy, Juju,
Next
and
year, Juju
squad.
and the 4 number 1 recruits,
Yep.
they will win March Madness and they will win the national
We're gonna mop
championship.
the floor.
They will win the national championship.
We're gonna
100%. I will bet whatever amount of money you want that on right now. It's
Yeah.
gonna be they're either gonna play one of these 4 teams, UCLA, UConn, or South Carolina.
Yep.
They're not gonna play Texas. But I guarantee you, if everyone on that team is healthy,
Yeah.
they will win the national champ. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. 100%. I'm taking that to the grave. It's all the way there.
Yep.
They will win it. Because you had some slip-ups this year. Juju obviously last year, tore ACL. This year was a rebuild year. Jazzy Davidson, Kennedy Smith doing their thing. All right, cool. You made it to the second round. You got bounced out the second round. It is what it is. Next year, that is the rebuilding year. That is the year that you maintain what you've been able to keep up as a healthy roster. The rebuild year of showing people what we did last year and how we transformed that with everyone healthy. So it's like right now you're rebuilding. Next year you execute it.
Okay.
So I think, and if UConn maintains what they're doing, South Carolina, obviously Dawn Staley doing what she's doing, but I think they got it. What do you think?
But do you think that we're creating like gonna be like next year is the start of a dynasty, or it's next year's the start of rebuilding to get better, and then it's the year after that really makes it?
No, it's definitely next year is the start when they win.
How is it next year when they win that?
Well, my only thing is because after that Juju won't be here unless she
Right.
extends her eligibility, which I'm not really too sure on what her eligibility is like now.
I don't
She
know.
she may have had an extra year, or she might have just dismissed it. But I'm saying for USC they'll have 4 number 1 recruits on one team. That's almost your whole starting 5.
Yeah.
And when you go up against some of these other teams, UConn, South Carolina, yes, you have the depth, whatever. But for USC, if you have 4 players that could get you 30,
But that's like in theory, like we're still saying that you have to.
if you have 4
develop.
players that could get you 30 points, you're going to tell
You're
me.
gonna die on that as
I'm saying, if you have 4 number 1 players in the country for women's basketball and they're on one team, come on. Like, who is beating that? Nobody. There's
you
no one
still
beating
got
that.
these teams with established players who have been in this tournament, who have been in the go about it, like you said, with UConn, SEC, all these other teams. Like at least it'll take a couple years of adjustment.
Well, no, because you saw how far they got last year. Juju's freshman year.
Yeah.
They got deep in the playoffs, and then they came up short sophomore year. And then this year she didn't play.
I guess you gotta hope all of them turn out to be like Juju.
But like when you see Juju was the number 1 recruit though, and then it's like some other players
Yeah.
add on to that. Plus you already got the dogs already on the team doing their job. Kennedy Smith getting rebounds. You already have Kara Dunn, Jazzy Davidson. Think about the players I'm naming here.
Yeah.
They're showing up and showing out.
Yeah.
And if you go up against a UConn South Carolina team with a USC team that's fully healthy, fully stocked, come on. We know who's winning that matchup.
I got my fingers
The
crossed.
only reason why USC didn't win it last year was because Juju tore
the injury.
ACL.
It's
She
the
was
injury.
getting 40 every night.
Yeah.
She's dropping 40.
Magical.
Come on. But, I mean, look, that's my pick. But we talked about basketball. We talked about March Madness. Let's head over to a different sport that's currently turning up in March, and that is the MLB.
Do we have to?
We got to talk about the Dodgers, baby.
Have to.
You know what time it is. Edwin Diaz already 2 saves on the year. Come on.
Be happy as a Dodgers fan. It's like, yeah, the Dodgers are doing what they're supposed to do. Like,
Oh, you know what? That's the name of the game. That's the
Whatever,
name
man.
of the game. Because
God.
for the Dodgers, look, I will say this. I'm content. After this year, if we win 3-peat and we get a 3rd World Series,
it's not.
I don't care. When we get a 3-peat, when we win the World Series, I don't care who wins the World Series after that. If we get 4, amazing.
No,
but
okay.
honestly, it's everyone else's time.
No,
it's
that's
everybody
me.
else's
Me
time.
this year is. I already know my team's out of it. I don't
Everyone
care.
else's
Just
time.
someone should win it, not the Dodgers. I don't care who wins it.
What are you talking about?
I don't
Anybody
care
beat
who
the
wins the
Dodgers? Look, if you can't beat
Anybody
them,
the Dodgers.
you might as well join them.
That's gross. Hell no.
That's how it goes.
That's not how it goes.
Look
That's
at the
what's
Red
wrong with
Sox.
baseball.
Giants did the same thing.
What do you mean Giants did the same thing?
Giants did the same thing. If you want to go win, go to the Giants. Look, Blake Snell just realized I can't win anything with the Padres or the Madres, and I can't win anything with the Giants. So guess what? I'm going to go to the team that's been kicking our you-know-what every year. And guess what's going to happen?
We don't
I'm
want
going to
him
win the World
anyways.
Series.
He wasn't
So,
tough. He wasn't impressive.
you know what? That's okay. But this is a guy who almost cooked us in the 2020 World Series. But for the Dodgers, I've been enjoying it. Already a hot
Yeah,
start
sure
to the
you have.
season.
Yeah.
They're going to be right back in the playoffs, and they're going to be right back in the World Series. I don't know who they're going to play. But, yeah, no one in that National League is stopping them after this year. They're going for it all. They're going for number 3.
I hate to
Shohei
say
Ohtani
this,
gifting everyone gifts
but
saying, let's get one more. Let's get one more.
The Mets. I guess I'm banking on the Mets to stop them at this point.
Everyone was hoping on the
Maybe
Mets last year.
Pirates.
And people were hoping
Pirates
on the
didn't look that
Brewers.
great.
And they had the best record in baseball. And that didn't work. It didn't work.
Well, it's because you
It
got
didn't
you
work.
got your guys back from whatever injury that they had. Like,
Come on. That's execution baseball right there. That's what a real team does. When you want to win, look at the Dodgers format.
the Blue Jays are a real team. The 2010 Giants are a real team. You develop players. You do things the right way.
The Dodgers went through years of losing.
Gosh.
And now they contribute to that. But speaking of the Dodgers, speaking of the wins, something that's altering the wins,
Yes.
and also the pitch strike count and the pitch clock, as when you talk about the games and how far they go, is the ABS system.
Yep.
There's been a lot of batters that have been successful in these challenges, and it looks like the umpires are getting a little bit frustrated.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a wonderful system to implement in baseball, as well as we should also be implementing a salary floor and a salary cap,
No,
just
no,
like
no.
the NFL.
Absolutely not. No.
That would solve a lot of our problems.
No.
But to go back to this ABS system thing, umpires can be frustrated, and I get it. It's like you got a guy like Judge is huge. You got to adjust your strike, your strike box, strike range, or whatever. But it's making baseball better. Like, especially if we're going to talk about going into the postseason, close games, clutch moments. I can see this as an absolutely wonderful thing. And if an umpire gets frustrated, like, you're still going to have your job. But it's like, come on, we want to see the right calls. We don't want to see no BS. Like, we're showing up in a real system here.
BS,
like
ABS.
ABS is taking the BS out of baseball. Like, I love that system, and I love what's going on with it. And between manager challenges, between batter challenges, I've seen, batters get called out for something that they thought they were good for. I've seen, pitchers get a call that they wanted or a call that they didn't wanted. Overall, it's making the experience of baseball a little bit more better to watch, a little bit easier. We just need to change how payment works, and then we'll be good.
Wait, change how what?
How payment works.
What
We
is-
don't need any of these deferred
what
contracts.
is- oh,
We
wait
don't
a
need
minute.
Any of this unlimited
Hold up.
spending.
We got to spill a haterade
Oh
on
my
aisle 7.
Goodness.
Wait a minute. Well, oh my gosh, deferred contracts. Maybe the Giants should start showing some deferred contracts.
I
maybe,
wish we would.
maybe they'll keep some players
We
on their
have no
roster and give the
pitchers.
Dodgers a run for their money.
Our best closer is Ryan Walker. Like, I hate saying that. Our best closer is Ryan
It's
Walker.
all right. You guys have been in a rebuild year for the last 3 years, so it's all good. You'll have your time soon again. But for right now, the City of Champions has to enjoy it. I mean, it's been phenomenal. But as far as it goes for the ABS system, I think there's going to be a limit on it.
What's the limit? I was into like a
I think there's going
challenge
to be a limit of how many challenges you could have per at bat.
per at bat. Yeah, that's
in certain strikes, because there's a lot of guys that's been successful. But then you added the pitch clock to speed up the game, and now this slows down the game because of a replay. I mean, what keeps people intrigued is essentially it's like if somebody steals a base and you're trying to see if they're out or safe.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, it keeps me intrigued. Like, wow, that was actually a ball or a strike. Now, there's some calls that have just been absolutely egregious, and the umpire should really get his eyes checked, because I don't know if it's him back there or Stevie Wonder, because Stevie Wonder could see that. So I don't know if there's an issue or what's going on, but something they're definitely going to have to look at is just how long it takes and how accurate it is. I mean, so far it's been very accurate, but when it comes to certain counts, like if you're 2-0, 1-1, and then, if it changes the way a batter gets on base and ultimately how it changes the outcome of the game, I think that's where it could be a problem. But so far, I mean, I've seen a lot of people use it, and it's gone in the batter's favor majority of the time because they're at the plate. So all they do is hit a quick 1-2, and then it's like if they're successful or not. That's how they end up with it.
I will say, if there was a ABS system that was strictly enforced in the World Baseball Classic, I don't know if USA beats the Dominican Republic, because there was a high strike zone the entire night.
Oh, yeah.
That was a high strike zone the entire night. That's what
it was
got
close.
the player out at bat. I think in the bottom of the ninth it was. Probably wouldn't have saved us against Venezuela, but
Which is also ironic. Venezuela
what it
won
very
over USA.
Yeah.
That has a lot to say. But I think for this system, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, robots are starting to take a chance. I also are starting to take over a little bit. But I also heard people said that there will be robotic umpires. What do you think about that?
Robotic umpires.
Are we living in iRobot, Men in Black?
I think we
where's
are.
Will Smith at?
Like we're getting to that point where it's like if we start having robotic umpires and then we start having robotic referees for all other sports, that would be crazy. I don't know if I'm ready to say that we're good for robotic umpires just yet. I feel like that might change. Like, what if like a decade from now that changes and like we're all cool with it?
Well, we're already living in the future. Like earlier, I said between 2026 and 2031.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the words that just came out of my mouth. Living in 2031, let alone 2040.
Yeesh.
Like that doesn't even sound real. Like I expect like flying cars or something to come out of the sky and deliver it to me in midair. We already got DoorDash, and the other day I saw 4 Waymos get stuck behind each other.
Yeah. Also, those stupid robot carts that be like running up and down the
Oh my gosh! And they have real people names.
That's crazy.
Like that's very. It's so weird
to me.
But that just goes to show you like how this has now been implemented in sports to where, is it good for the game? Is it worse for the game? Are we gonna see it in the NFL, in the NBA, like ref calls, and then watch if you're in the NBA and someone's like, "Nah, ref, you don't know what you're talking about. Let's get a check," and then it goes automated talking about some technical foul on Kawhi Leonard. Technical foul on LeBron James. Actually, if you look at his hand, you look at the replay, and the AI is going to detect whether that's a foul or not.
If it gets to that point, like, and you have a robotic umpire ref, like, would you get teed up or ejected for talking smack to it?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, do they have that like a patience meter on?
Like, I feel like that'd be interesting trying to argue with a robot. Just for it to be like, you want to keep talking? Technical foul.
Yeah.
You want one more? You're out of here. Like, I feel like that would be so
like, does Draymond have a career? Does SGA get all the free throws that he does if we have a robotic system?
I don't know. I might be in favor of him, but obviously we see all these different systems and we see all these interesting incidents that have happened over these last couple weeks within these sports. But an incident that recently happened with another superstar is Tiger Woods.
Oh my gosh.
His second DUI, obviously in the media that people know about. I don't know if there's any more. But dog. Come on. Yeah. Tiger, look, everyone's rooting for you, bro. Like, everyone's rooting. You got your TGL back. You're on ESPN with the Tiger Golf League. You won it. Now you're in Florida. What is happening? What is going on? Man, you are so rich. You're the best golfer on this planet.
Yep.
You could have called a service, a black car service to help you out. Something. Something. But why do you need to, like, everything does not need to be in your hands. Okay? Just a golf club. Everything else, you should just be low-key about.
That's why I'm saying, like, if it happens twice, like, I'm sorry to say that, but, like, at what point is it he's just doing it for the love of the game? Like,
in every way.
Like, you're rich. You can have a limo. You can have a personal driver. You have a caddy. Like, you have someone driving you up and down the golf course. Like, at some point, it's just for the love of the game.
Like, I know you want to do it for that personal feel, but you don't have to. You do not have to, Mr. Woods, okay? You could have a driver calling you that in the back seat, and you could be sleeping. And you can wake up and not know where you are. Yeah, instead of not knowing where you are on the side of a road with a police officer right next to you. That's unfortunate.
Over.
We don't need that. Okay, that should not happen from a Masters champion. Especially 5-time Masters champion. That's unnecessary. But you're making it hard for us. You're making it hard for everybody.
Your legacy, man. Like, come on. Like, you got the comeback story. You got young prodigy, comeback story. Your kid is up and coming too. And just pick one or the other. You're either gonna drink or you're either gonna drive. Like, you can give up driving if you want to drink, or you can give up drinking if you want to drive. Like,
I just think it's so Tiger of him to do. Like, so unfortunately, like this happened a couple years ago, and now it's like, oh, Tiger Woods involved in the DUI crash. Oh my gosh, man, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why? You're just doing this to yourself at this point. Look, maybe I get it, maybe I don't. But one thing I do see is your name in the headlines, and not for the reason why everyone else wants to see you in there.
No.
It's unfortunate. We don't need to see that. But, I mean, just so many different things happening this weekend, and it's like NFL is about to kick up. I just don't know. I don't know what's happening. I really don't. I think we were talking about it earlier. The Raiders might have a good chance to really do something in this upcoming season. They have the most picks in the draft.
Yeah.
And if they don't, I think they're going to sell it. I think they're going to sell it for themselves as an organization. You got rid of Geno Smith, and you got rid of Pete Carroll. So you have a good chance to build around your younger guys, Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, those guys. I mean, and you'll have Fernando Mendoza as your quarterback. But if you mess it up, and look, the Raider fans have the largest fan base in America or in the NFL, honestly, all over the world. And right behind them, I believe, is like the Cowboys. And for those fans, they're dying for some wins. They have yet to get that.
Yeah. I think that one thing I want to talk about from both from the Raider standpoint and from the fan standpoint is if you have Brady at the helm and there's a way that this gets messed up, does the organization ever get saved? And I don't know.
They've been saved in 26 years.
What even happens to it?
I mean, is the guy sitting in the big chair the problem?
Maybe.
Is Mark Davis an issue?
I've heard he has a wonderful smile, though.
He also has an interesting haircut.
And an interesting haircut. But it's a disservice
He really rocks the ginger bowl.
It's a disservice to one of the most loyal fan bases in the NFL. And especially to see, the Raiders moving out of Oakland, the town, the culture is so gone from Oakland in many ways. But come on, just fix it for them. One thing that I was actually really interested in is the idea of, I know we're going to be getting, expansion teams with the NBA, and, that's something we'll talk about a little bit later. But what do you think about the idea of, for one game of a season, a team goes back to, their home, so to speak? If, the Raiders had one regular season game at the Coliseum, or the Warriors had one regular season game at Oracle, and, I guess, you're going to have Seattle now, but, if the Thunder went to, Seattle and had, one game in, Supersonics jersey,
interesting.
I
don't know.
It would be fun.
I think it'd be fun, but you think about the Thunder in Sonics jersey, people would be mad about that.
There would be people mad, but for a nostalgic event, I guess I don't know if you're gonna have that now if Seattle's gonna get their expansion team, but you have this talk of the Kansas City Chiefs are gonna have their new stadium in actual Kansas. Once that happens, Missouri's not going to have anything for them besides, I guess, their college football, and I guess they can be allegiant to the Chiefs still. But, the Chiefs gave them a dynasty. A couple years later, they come back, play one game at Arrowhead, and then go back to whatever stadium they're in.
I mean, could you see Kansas City getting a basketball team?
Absolutely not.
Why? Well, why not? They got baseball and they got football.
What? I can't see it because it's too much of a.
The Sacramento Kings should move to Kansas City.
The Sacramento Kings.
That makes sense.
Right after they got
I agree
their
with that.
beam.
Because look, if you look in California, you got the Clippers, you have the Lakers, you have the Warriors and the Kings. Why?
If you happen to live in Sacramento.
Come on, you're already in the Bay Area. Just go root for the Warriors. Why are you rooting for the Kings? You want to be different.
Well, Sacramento's not the Bay. That's what.
But it's Northern California.
Yeah, but it's not the Bay. That's sure, it's Northern California.
So what's San Jose?
San Jose is Bay adjacent. Some people count it. I technically.
I think the Bay is just San Francisco.
The Bay is San Francisco, Oakland, and I guess a little bit of what's under Oakland, a little bit what's under San Francisco.
Okay, so is that just because the water surrounds it?
Yeah, because you're if you touch the Bay, then you're the Bay.
Okay, interesting. Go ahead, Tony.
Also, if you move the Kings to Kansas City, that means you have two teams that can move to the East during an expansion draft rather than just one team moving to the East.
See, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Logically, logistically, everything. I mean, think about it. Kansas City, you got the big three: baseball, basketball, football.
The Kansas City Kings.
And then it's in California, now you only got, 3 teams?
Yeah.
Realistically, California should just have one team. The Los Angeles Lakers. But
What do you mean by that?
exactly what I said.
No.
But I think for, we'll spread the love with the Clippers. Clippers need to go to San Diego. They need to get out of LA.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they just built a stadium, but the Clippers need to go back down to San Diego.
They
Same
do.
thing with the Chargers.
And the Chargers.
The Chargers need to get out of SoFi. I'm sorry. Get out of
Yeah,
SoFi.
they're-
Justin Herbert, you ain't not doing nothing for that organization.
It doesn't look
Go
right.
back down to San Diego where they love you
Yeah.
and go share a stadium with the Padres or something because they need to get out of LA.
it doesn't sit right. Like I did go to a Chargers game. It's
off. It feels like you're going to a
yeah.
Lakers game. Or no, it feels like going to a Clippers game.
Yeah, it feels like you're going to a Rams game. The tickets are a lot cheaper though. I'll say
Of course.
that. Like
It's like the Clippers. The Clippers, it's like the Chargers are like the Clippers. And it's
Yeah.
like the Chargers are like the Angels.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go to those games.
Nope. Unfortunately.
Kyle, you said that the Lakers are the best NBA team in California. But have the Lakers ever had the greatest team in NBA history in
Sure.
California rather than the Golden State Warriors, who I would argue has the better greatest team of all time than
true.
any of the other Lakers teams?
What, 2016 Warriors?
The 2016
When they lost to LeBron in the finals?
No. The
No,
2017
the
2017 Warriors are the greatest team. They're better than any of those other Lakers teams.
Yeah.
20. So
second
wait,
that.
what? KD and Curry
KD,
and Draymond
Curry, Draymond.
over prime Shaq and Kobe?
Any day.
Wait,
yeah.
wait.
Any day.
Wait. Are we talking like fully Lakers? Like
Yes.
Oh
yes.
hell no.
Yes.
No way. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
We shoot
no.
circles around them.
Over any LA team, any Lakers team in history.
Yes.
No, absolutely not. You are not. No, that team is not beating the Showtime. No, hell
Yes,
no.
it is.
Absolutely
Yes,
not.
it
No.
is.
Prime,
They're
no.
running- they're
No,
running them
not.
out of the
no, they're
gym.
Not. No,
They're
no. No one can run with Magic. No one can run with Kareem. No one can run with Byron Scott. None of them can run with any of them. I promise you that. I promise you. If you were to put the Warriors in 1988, they are cooking them every which way on the floor in the
Magic
form.
couldn't
I
hold a
promise
torch
you.
to Curry.
Same thing with Shaq and Kobe. Look, I understand whatever. Curry can shoot, Kevin Durant can shoot, but Kobe and Shaq would dominate the paint against that team.
We don't need the paint.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You can shoot the threes, but guess what? I promise you'll get more shots under the rim than you will when you shoot the threes. I promise you that. That team is not the best in California. Hell no. Absolutely not. Nope. And luckily, we're out of time. So I'd be up here all day talking about this, but I
No
can't.
one wants to hear from you no more. Oh my.
You know what? Don't let me come back here next week, because we will continue this. We will continue this.
We will.
We will continue this. But that's all we have for A Block, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
And welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Man, you know, I feel like I gave Kyle a little something, just like, you know, I just wanted him to bite, you know,
A
just
little bit.
but I do stand by that. I do stand by that. Greatest California team of all time.
No.
Yeah. running them out of the gym. But that's not what we're here to talk about. No, unfortunately.
No.
But we are here to talk about NBA though.
We are.
So I'm here with my man Johnathan. How was that Knicks Clippers game?
You know, listen, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't great. It wasn't great to watch. You know,
Explain to the viewers.
explain to the. What do you want me to explain?
Well, so
How disappointing it was to finally get to see the Knicks play in person and get the brakes blown off. I mean, I don't care. 126 to 118, and at some points it felt close. And then the end of that game, it was much closer than it should have been. 126 118.
mm-hmm.
The Clippers just basically said, "All right, you could score a few more, make people feel happy."
Yeah. They gave y'all some some. Ironically, I wouldn't have allowed this disrespect. Just getting garbage points. Just cause. But it's fine. They didn't care. They're just trying to get the dub so they can climb up in that play-in.
But I will say, Josh Hart double. So I was happy for that.
This
Listen,
man, Josh Hart, can't do anything wrong.
Josh Hart, and let me say something else. I was so happy because for the span of, I think it was 30-ish seconds, I got to see Tyler Kolek and Josh Hart playing on the court. I think it was for like one free throw.
Oh my God.
It was a foul. They took Tyler Kolek out. And there was, by the way, the most, I don't understand sometimes. I don't know why Knicks fans felt the need. You could look it up. There was Knicks chants at the Garden, or not at the Garden, excuse me. At Intuit. Let's go Knicks. And it was like, they were coming back.
Were you a
but
part of those chants? Be honest. Be honest. Don't lie. I see the smirk. He totally did. He was partaking. He indulged.
Listen, you're there, but I didn't understand why we were doing it, but I said, you know what? We kind of had a nice run. Let's have fun while we can, because that game just got out of hand way too quick.
Yeah. Well,
It was
it's
depressing.
okay. The Knicks, they're going to play my Rockets tomorrow, and
Destroy you guys.
yeah,
Yep.
we're probably going to run us out of the gym.
I hope so.
You
I
know.
really hope. If I have to watch the Knicks lose another game after watching the Thunder game, by the way, robbery. That was a robbery.
Listen,
I don't care. Look,
we're going to talk about that later.
we will.
man.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that
Alright,
later.
we
But
will.
for now, we're going to talk about just two things got confirmed for play-in tournament-wise for all the people out there that love the play-in tournament. I guess you guys exist.
The play-ins.
But yeah, the Golden State Warriors and the Portland Trail Blazers have stamped their ticket into the show, quote unquote.
show.
And they are in the play-in tournament. Congratulations, Trailblazer and Warrior fans right now. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so my first initial reactions off of this honestly came to me in a thought overnight last night.
Okay.
And I've came to the conclusion
You had a vision?
the Golden State Warriors will miss the playoffs.
Wow. Missed like entirely.
The Golden State Warriors will not make the playoffs.
Ooh. Wait, hold on. Like, okay, hold on. Okay.
They will play in the play-in tournament.
Right.
But they are not making it to that bracket. They're not making it to the real show. All the other teams that you can list that are going to be in the play-in tournament, the Clippers, the
potentially.
Suns, and the Blazers,
Yeah.
they're not beating any of those teams.
You don't think they could beat the Blazers?
No.
Wow. Wait a minute.
The Blazers are one of the best in transition offenses in the league. They have one of the best defenses in the league. And
In the league? But they're ninth.
they're
The
not
Trailblazers?
They're-
Oh my God.
they're ninth, but this Golden State Warriors team is 10th. They're
10th.
they're-
But
they are the ghost that the Warriors are trying to chase. Because this Warriors team, no matter if Steph Curry coming back from this ailing
that's
knee
what I was
injury,
gonna say. He's coming back.
not saying that there's not any setbacks happening, but they're definitely saving that man for the postseason. Yeah, this team is not beating anybody, and it's just plain and simple.
So let me get this straight. You, in the last segment, gassed up Golden State fans, had them feeling great. Oh, yeah, that's right. Best team in California history ever. And then we go back, start off this
Because
vlog
that-
and go, nah, you guys suck.
Because
You're
that
out.
was
You're
a
out."
decade ago. It's been a decade since that team.
Listen, I'm not
And-
saying it's not warranted. I just find it funny. I mean, okay, listen. I think if the Clippers surpass the Suns and you have you think Warriors Trailblazers, let's say if that happens.
Warriors Trailblazers.
You
as,
think
like, a
Warriors
series.
get bounced by the Trailblazers?
I see. Yes.
No.
In a one game series, yes.
No.
It's
If Curry's back for that one game, because look, it's an ailing, right? So if he comes back, you think he's going? Wow.
No.
I don't agree. I think
they are not the same team at all that they've started out with, and they're not even half the team that they started with after the trade deadline, and basically they're not even a third of the team that they've been
Not even
after the Moses Moody injury.
Yeah.
Prayers up. Apparently that might take multiple years to recover from.
That's a really bad one.
But you have him out. You have Kristaps Porzingis still dealing with a mystery illness.
Yeah.
Porzingis. And no Jimmy Butler.
No Jimmy.
Podziemski is the only hope that you have, and he still hasn't put up a 30-point game in his career.
Masterclass? Playing Masterclass?
Absolutely not.
Hold on,
this man's
wait.
not Jordan Poole. He tries to be.
Come on, hold on.
Steve Kerr might love this man, but he knows in his heart of hearts that he can't trust him to be Steph Curry's co-mate in running mate along this postseason
You can't
run.
see. Look, we've seen a lot of madness in March. You can't tell me that Pods can't have a career masterclass. Get him out of the
not.
play-ins. Get him out of the play-in.
No.
You don't think?
If
Not even a little bit.
if next year wasn't Steph Curry's and Draymond Green's last season, which I think it could potentially be, considering that Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and Jimmy Butler, all their contracts run out in 2027, and I think that it's formulated that way because they want to retire. If they didn't have their retirement year next year, Steve Kerr would be fired.
Wow. You think he fought really?
Steve
With
Kerr,
everything he's done.
Steve Kerr, for everything that he's done, the team that he has taken that from the Mark Jackson castle that he built, Steve Kerr cannot properly develop any young core.
Wow.
He has not done that with James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, clearly, Brandon Podziemski, and
Well, he's still young. He's still, hold on.
it doesn't matter. His impact doesn't lead to winning.
Ooh.
None of the young guys that they've ever gotten in the draft, besides from the people that Mark Jackson found, Steve Kerr hasn't been able to build them up.
So
And he hasn't been able to adjust to the right scheme that they need for winning. This team needs some change, and he refuses to change because he always is going to defer to Draymond Green.
Okay.
Draymond Green is the real vocal leader. He is the real leader. He is the real coach of this team, I would argue.
He argues and fights as much as a coach should, so there's that.
Yeah.
He's got that for him.
The most passionate that I've seen Steve Kerr been is for yelling at Will Richard for a bad pass that Brandon Podziemski committed. So
Okay, wait, hold on. So
a bad turnover.
let's backtrack here. Okay, Kerr, let's say he's gone. He gets sacked. Golden State throws him out. Who replaces Kerr? And if you could say the Golden State Warriors need a new coach because he can't do young core. Who's your ideal coach coming in?
The guy that's been on the floor as the coach this entire time, Draymond Green.
Draymond to coach.
Draymond Green
To coach.
This is his coaching job this is his birthright at this point.
Tony to coach.
Yes.
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
No,
as the
no,
coach.
no. You rage bait.
No.
Kyle.
Mm-mm.
Now you're gonna come here. You're gonna come here and tell me that Draymond Green is the future coach. Ideal. I said ideal. You could have picked anyone. You say Draymond Green.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hold on. Who's your assistant coach? Because Draymond Green, as a head coach, makes maybe 2 games, gets thrown out by maybe the second quarter. I don't even think he gets through the whole first quarter. Every game, it's gone. Gone.
You'd have to have a guy that could keep him accountable, and I think that guy would probably be like Andre Iguodala. I want Iguodala as his assistant.
No.
No, but in all seriousness, this team is not going anywhere this postseason. Sorry, Golden State fans. Next year will be the last chance, not the last dance, last chance, and you're not dancing at all in this postseason. Sorry, you're not making the playoffs.
I don't even know what to say.
It's okay.
Okay. You know what? If the Warriors hear that, what you just said, they hear that coaching staff Andre Iguodala and Draymond Green, I think that may propel them through the plans if they know that's what they're playing for. If that's your potential coaching.
Draymond might suit up. You know, he might take the might take the dress shoes off and suit up.
If you have that coaching staff, if that's what goes through, I'll tell you right now, paperwork on the line, I think they have to move the Warriors out of California because the head office.
No.
You cannot have
Warriors-
Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala. Listen, it was more. Look, Death Ray pointed at Earth. That was for him to shoot, not for him to coach.
No.
And when you have Draymond Green coaching as your head coach, you need an assistant coach to be the head coach because he's not there.
I would say that yes, Draymond Green might have a problem with his emotions, but this team has already been basically half led by him. On paper, it's Steve Kerr, but we really know it's Draymond Green.
Wow.
At the helm.
I think we can let.
And you
people
can't
sit
even
with it.
play an Among Us sound effect because you in the booth, you know just as well as the people watching that Steve Kerr always will defer to that man, Draymond.
Look, I won't argue with you on that, but I mean, we're gonna be beating a dead
No,
horse here
I
if
know.
talk.
But
But-
it's fine. You know, the Warriors, you can prove me wrong in April, but I don't think it's going to happen. So
Okay.
just worry about your retirement tour next season.
Right.
Next up,
Moving right along.
moving right on. Actually talking about the plan, the Los Angeles Clippers are
Okay.
probably going to be a play-in team this year.
Mm.
And I actually have the gumption to say on this show that whatever 1 or 2 seeds, so either the Thunder or the Spurs, because I believe that the Clippers are making it out of the play-in.
Okay,
They're
sure.
going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I believe that this Clippers team can push either of those teams to 6 games.
Okay. Well, all right. You're saying that they could push
I'm
Thunder
saying,
or Spurs?
I'm
to-
saying that the Thunder or the Spurs, whoever faces this Clippers team, is not going to be
It's
not
not gonna be a
going to have
cakewalk.
fresh. They're not gonna. No, it's not gonna be a
Okay.
cakewalk. They're not gonna have fresh legs going into the next round. They're gonna be a little tired and a little bit like thrown off guard because this Clippers team, since the acquisition of Darius Garland and just the year that Kawhi has been having, the career year that Kawhi Leonard has been having, he's 1 game away from missing the 65 game requirement.
Right.
He definitely deserves to be all NBA honors, bare minimum.
Okay.
That
No,
third
no,
team. Or the
I'm just going to chime in here for a second. I think on the talk of Troy, we have had this conversation every single year around this time of year about the Clippers. And what happens every single year? My Clippers usually first round exits, but never any sort of postseason success. I really hope you guys are right. Absolutely no shot because there's no difference between this Clippers team and every other Clippers team except for the actual roster construction. But cool, Clippers get hot at the right time, but they're on paper not this year actually not better than the opponents. So I don't know, maybe we're flipping the script on it, but
I'm not saying that they're gonna go knock out one of these teams.
No, he said push.
But I'm saying that this Clippers team can make one of those teams tired for their next round. This Clippers team has the potential to be the reason why the other team is so tired in the second round that they lose in the second round. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But you saw the Clippers in the postseason last year, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before, and every other year as well.
Yeah.
What makes you think, looking at this Clippers team, that if they're facing an opponent in the first round like the Thunder, right, a more difficult first round matchup than they've had really ever, because they've always been either not in the playoffs or they've been a solid 3, 4, 5 seed. What makes you think that they could ever push a team like that to 6 games?
Well, I'll tell you what.
wall.
A lot of these teams, when they go and play in the first round, they play lazical. And maybe you can't say that for every team in the NBA. Sure, some teams know how to put the foot on their necks. They don't play. The Thunder could definitely be one of those teams. The Spurs could be definitely one of those teams. But I truthfully believe that Kawhi Leonard has been on such a heater. And Darius Garland, for you should know, he's averaging 21 on good shooting in only 28 minutes and shooting 50% from 3 since he's been on the Clippers. When he was on Cleveland, it was like barely 30%. And I don't know maybe it's just that weather that's going on in LA, but like
It's the wall, man.
it's
Hit it with dome wall.
you know what? It could be
be the wall, bro.
It could be the magic of just being in a different arena, just seeing that ball go through a different hoop. But the Clippers this season have showcased a lot of toughness. They showcased that even after James Harden left in the way that he did, that this team wasn't going to be left high and dry. This team started 6-36 for the season, and now they're over 500. I don't know about you, man. I know that you're a devout Clippers fan and you can't buy into anything that I'm probably going to say, but just know that you should be proud of the output that I think this Clippers team is going to give in this first round.
I'm not proud of anything that you think they're going to put out. I'd only be proud of the product that I see on the court in the postseason for once in my life. Once in my life. One time.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know what can be said to make the Clippers as good to leave that first round and have actually some hopes without there being a phenomenal superstar to be acquired in the Clippers in the offseason, you know, like a Giannis or whatever, which that's looking at the assets the Clippers have, that's not happening. I mean, there's some rumors that Kawhi is going to leave in the offseason. So maybe you can get a sign and trade off with just some good, just like, hey, man, you left me in my hometown. You know, I went from Toronto to see my family in LA. You know, I'll leave you guys with a little something on my way out. And I hope for the best.
Cope therapy
for the best.
with Tony.
But I do think that this Clippers team could be potentially dangerous for some of these teams that kind of slack off on them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they know. Cope therapy with Tony. Listen, I might have to contact you
yeah.
to be my therapist after this playoffs if the Knicks don't go far. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Speaking of the Knicks.
Speaking of the Knicks.
You know. You know. Let's talk about what I believe of this Knicks team.
Okay.
I'm
ready to defend my team.
I believe that this Knicks team is better than the hate that they're probably going to get from a larger sense of the media. I believe that this Knicks team is going to make it past the first round. I believe that this Knicks team is going to make it past the second round.
Okay. I like what you're saying.
But this Knicks team, and even Jalen Brunson at the helm, they will never win a ring as long as Karl Anthony Towns is on your team.
You know?
This Knicks team, for the last 2 games, has benched Karl Anthony Towns in the fourth quarter over Mitchell Robinson.
Hey, don't disrespect Mitch. Don't do that.
Big Mitch, the OG, the guy that's kind of stuck it all out, you know, in New York for a while. Karl Anthony Towns, your 2 guy, your big 2. Mikal Bridges can sometimes be that, but he's even having his inconsistencies, and he's had his minutes lowered a little bit too.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns is not a impactful winning guy towards the fourth quarter, but he's going to be a guy that's going to be taking a chunk of your minutes. What role does he serve that some other player can't be adding to this team, but doing 10 times better during the fourth or just having a better impact on the defensive end? I don't know, man. I'm not saying that it was a regret to get him, or anything like that, but I just don't think that as far as this player is on the Knicks, I don't see this Knicks team ever winning a championship.
Wow. I got to disagree with you. Obviously.
Go ahead.
Obviously,
Go ahead.
I have to disagree with you. Okay, look, I get it. Karl Anthony Towns, he's a very offensive-minded player. You couldn't even say he has a half a brain for defense. It's not usually there. However,
I mean, even if he's offensive, like he had 9 shots against OKC. And he made, how many did he make? 2, 4?
Don't listen. Hey, in the final quarter, he started heating up though for that game. You watched. He started putting points on. Obviously, a little too late. But listen,
a little too late.
Karl Anthony Towns. Yes, he's the big problem. And we'll get into scapegoats later.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a big scapegoat. Even I have said it before that I don't really trust Karl Anthony Towns, but I will say something. There is a glimmer of hope with him, and that is when he first came to the Knicks. Okay, first. I know, way back when. Yeah. Okay, he played defense. He was one of the best defense players on the Knicks when he came to the Knicks and when he had something to prove. When he had something to prove, he was
He
phenomenal.
was all like, yeah, New York. Like, he wanted to just,
No.
like, he kind of, like, appreciated what he did in Minnesota, but he was like, you know what? I'm gonna be that guy in New York,
And he
man.
was. And he
You know-
was. But now I get it. He's had this time. And I don't want to say that the Knicks are, like, kind of phoning it in to rest before the preseason, before the
Oh, brother.
postseason. I don't listen. All I'm saying is I have a feeling that that's a little bit of Mike Brown's philosophy here. And then let me tell you why. You had the Knicks, very strong Knicks team, come into the playoffs last year under Thibodeau, and they impressed. They shocked people. You were like, well, the Knicks, I was the only one saying because,
Yeah,
divisional
they
Knicks
did it
fan.
without any bench.
But
and
that was the thing. They
still
ran
don't have any
ragged.
bench.
Oh, don't say they don't have a bench.
That
We have a bench now.
where's the bench?
Where's the bench?
Who's your bench guys?
Listen, you're going to laugh, but my Wonder Man, Landry Shamet, has been shooting the ball. You hit that button all you want. You cannot deny Landry Shamet's impact for the Knicks. Okay, look, yes, can he carry the team? No.
He hasn't played in the last 4 games.
I know he hasn't played in the last 4 games. Again, I was getting to the point where I think Mike Brown, knowing that the fatal flaw, the Achilles heel of that Knicks team last year was the fact that everyone was playing God knows how many minutes. They were tired. They were injured. It gets you out.
But Thibodeau had to do that because they didn't have
Yes,
any bench.
I understand that.
And they
So,
still don't.
Look, if you're the Knicks, you just locked. I'm gonna be honest. You just locked the playoff seed, right? You're in the playoffs
Yeah, you're in
for
the
sure.
playoffs.
You've
You're
locked
gonna-
that down. If you're Mike Brown, I don't know. You're really wanting to stay in that 2-3. You don't want to be a 4. You don't need to be the 2.
No, I know. You want that home court advantage in New York for sure.
Yeah, so they're
And
sitting. I just feel like, look, you get two games ahead of the Cavaliers. I think you'll see the Knicks pick it up for the games where they need to win when they figure out, okay, maybe we're going to lose home court. Maybe
No,
we're going to
for
lose
sure.
to the Cavs. But
listen,
then,
even if you guys somehow matched up with Cleveland in a 4-5
no, we'll beat
situation,
Cleveland.
I don't trust James Harden with my life in a
I
playoff
don't trust
series.
James Harden.
So
Look, I digress. But the point is,
mhm.
yes, Karl Anthony Towns is a problem. But playoff Knicks basketball, you saw it last year, is a different beast. The players play like there's gonna, because listen, when you have New York behind you, for better or for worse, there is a different level you have. There's a different standard that you have.
unless you play in Atlanta. Last time y'all played in Atlanta,
I want to see Atlanta.
With that-
Give me
with
the
that- with
Hawks.
that team-
I want to see the Hawks.
Ice Tway?
Yeah, where is he? Where is he?
he's gone. but
Retirement home.
Jalen Johnson,
Retirement home.
He might lock up. He might lock up
Jalen
Jalen Brunson just a little
Oh,
bit in that first
please.
round.
And then you know
I'm not
what?
saying that they're gonna win, but they might.
Knicks in 5.
That might.
Knicks in 5 over the Hawks. Over the Hawks? Over the Hawks? Stop it. Without Trae Young, without Mr. do this. No.
I'll say Knicks in a very close 5. Very close 5.
Okay. You know what? I'll take that. But the Knicks, I think, have a very nice setup going into the playoffs to make it to the finals. I will say that. Because, yes, you're let's say if everything's set right now, you play the Hawks, they easily beat the Hawks. Who do you play next? You play the Celtics or the Sixers? Obviously,
Sixers
Celtics
on paper, they look great.
No.
Paul George came back, but it's Sixers.
But you know what? I respect the Sixers in the fact that they usually give teams problems. They won't beat the Celtics by any means, but they will give them problems. I wouldn't be shocked if a Celtics player goes down with injury because Joel Embiid, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're a physical team. They're an annoying team. They'll tire you out.
Tyrese
set them up.
Maxey's arguably one of the clutchest players in the league right now, too.
So and if they somehow upset the Celtics, great. I think from a cinematic perspective, watching the Knicks Sixers rematch, that will go to 7 games. I would have to say that would have to go to 7 games because
Sixers? I have so much more confidence in this Knicks team than you do.
No,
man.
I know they'll win, but I don't know, man. We'll take the Sixers down, but I don't think the Sixers beat the Celtics. I'm gonna say that right now. We'll play the Celtics. They'll be tired. Well, I think we'll waltz on the Celtics in 6 games. I think there will be some
Listen.
heart scares, and now you're going to the Eastern Conference Finals against who? Against who? The Pistons, probably.
Against Detroit.
Which, by the way, I
Detroit
hope
has
Cade
to.
comes back.
I hope so too.
At collapsed lung, obviously they say the timetable's 2 weeks or whatever. It's like it's not career season ending.
It's not season
But
ending, but he's basically
the
gonna have to
impact.
ramp up for
That's what I'm
playoff
saying.
basketball.
And they said it last year. Oh, the Knicks never beat the Celtics. They're not going to beat the Celtics when they play the Celtics. They haven't beaten them in the regular season. And I tell you what, toss that out. Oh, it's going to be the same story. Knicks, Pistons. Oh, well, the Knicks never beat the Pistons in the regular season, so the Knicks can't possibly beat them. No. And then we go to the finals, and I don't even want to think about the finals right now. If I have to see those, if I have to see the Thunder, the free throw Thunder, the most annoying team to watch in all of basketball. Stop it. When we lost that game.
Wait, free throw. If we want to talk about free throws, Jalen Brunson has a conversation for going to the free throw line.
Head to head, when you had Shea and you had Brunson, you had that game where you want to talk all you want. Okay, Shea, the Knicks had 17 free throws. Shea had 16 and the Thunder had 38. Oh, come on.
Right.
You can't give me that. That's baloney and you know it. I don't want to see listen, and that would be probably one of the worst finals to watch from a viewer standpoint. If it was Knicks Thunder, I might fall asleep during that game because the amount of free throws that the Thunder are going to get, and then yes, sometimes Brunson gets the whistle.
Yeah.
Oh, free throw.
It would be disgusting. I just think that this team they have the culture, they have the grit, I think Jalen Brunson's a top. I gotta stop myself before I get too crazy.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful. I can say it and I'll be okay.
I think he's
insane,
just so I can't think right now. I think he's a top 7 or 8 point guard in the league.
Nah, that's fine. You are.
And I think that this Knicks team has a lot of potential, but
and I know
without that man, Karl Anthony Towns going to another place.
Okay.
I just don't see it.
Now, because I know we have a little bit of time left here, and we're kind of talking like Cat. You're telling me Cat's a scapegoat for the Knicks, but I hear that you have a very interesting scapegoat conversation coming into playoff with one of the other teams in the East.
Yeah,
I want to hear a little more about this.
Yes, I believe that the most hated player in the postseason this year will be Jason Tatum.
There it is.
Jason Tatum will be switched up so hard by Celtics fans. Their prize pony, their franchise guy that they raised, they will switch up on him so fast when they realize he's going to be shooting 40% and 30% from 3. This man is going to put up okay-ish numbers driving to the hoop. He's been averaging 21, 9, and 4. I said he was going to average 17 coming off this Achilles injury. And it's not a fault to him. I don't think it's his fault. But oh my goodness, knowing the way that Celtics fans talk about their team, they are going to betray Jason. Jason is going to put the stinkers on stinkers on stinkers. Jaylen Brown is going to have to carry this man past the first round. And I can't even say that they'll do that, but I will say that they'll probably end up going past into the second round. That's the ideal situation for the second seed. Jaylen Brown's playing like an MVP, but they're going to realize very soon that Jason Tatum is going to be pressured to shoot like he was the Jason Tatum of old. But then when you realize that Jason Tatum can't shoot anymore, they're going to say bench him.
Yeah.
They're going to ask for Tatum to be benched during this postseason. They're gonna ask for his head. Like I'm telling you that maybe this is just a bigger thing about Celtics fans and just the way that they treat their players like garbage.
Yeah.
And that's just to speak more about them, but they're setting this man up to die.
Yeah.
He's going to go out there, hung out to dry, put up 18 points per game on 35% shooting. And they're going to be saying, Jason Tatum sucks. Jason Tatum should have never gone back on that Achilles. Well, of course. But you can't hate on him for that.
No.
But watch, just coming around postseason time, Jason Tatum is going to be a laughingstock according to the league, and they're going to be asking for him to just lace him up for the rest of the postseason after maybe a few games because he's going to be virtually unplayable at some points.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I would like to disagree after some of the points we've had tonight, I agree. I mean, like, your Celtics are Celtics are second in the East. They haven't had Tatum the whole time. You're literally setting them up for well, we didn't need him before. Why do we don't need
Yeah,
him now to
exactly.
put up those terrible
Exactly.
shots and all.
And-
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
It's
for
gonna be
sure.
terrible, and I hope that he gets treated a little more fairly coming up. But
We'll have to see.
until then, on to the next. We'll see y'all in the next segment.
Look. Look.
And welcome back to the Talk of Troy. Tate, I've missed you.
I missed you
Been a
too,
little
man.
while. I've also missed March Madness. I haven't got to talk about March Madness on the Talk of Troy. Last time I was here was right before the tournament started.
Well, a lot has happened.
A lot has happened.
A lot has happened. And
Duke happened again.
it's smoked my bracket
Mine
once
too.
again.
Mine too.
Once again. I was so riding pretty at halftime. I was like, "Mwah, we're up
Yeah,
plus 15 plus
15
points.
at halftime.
I'm all good.
Yeah.
I'm all good. And then all of a sudden, things came undone.
Yeah.
Right in front of our very eyes. And, I hate to say it, but it was a collective meltdown. I mean, Cade and Boozer.
Yeah.
Listen. Boozer brothers have been hyped up. You see their twin NIL deals everywhere. It's great. Cool. Cam Boozer's one of the best. No. Cam Boozer is one of the best prospects out. That's just it. Period. But might I just say, his brother, I feel bad for him a little bit, just a little bit,
I kind of
because
agree.
there's a couple of moments where you could have held the ball, you could have thrown it up in the air, you could have just
You could have done anything else.
yeah.
Literally anything else.
Seriously. And you decide, I'm going to step into this and just pass over. Now, granted, even the entire coaching staff was like, yeah, send the ball down the court. I don't think they meant especially like that,
Yeah.
but huge mistake. Huge mistake.
It's the right mindset. All you have to do is get the ball past half court, and at that point there'd be 2 seconds left, and there were 2 guys down court anyway. No UConn guys down there. As long as you get the ball there, it's game over. And if someone was there, whatever, you foul them, you'll be fine. But there was no one there, so you get the ball in one of those 2 guys' hands, game over. It's all you got to do. What you don't do is get the ball and in a rush just jump and lean into 2 defenders, toss the ball over without jumping high enough, tossing it up. Just toss it up in the, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do.
There's a funny little video that my attention has been drawn to.
Oh, I'm excited.
Where
What is
the Duke coaching staff talked with their players about a very specific play that a former Duke alumni had, where Trey Jones had the ball, 4 seconds left, no timeouts, and instead of holding the ball, drawing the foul, he chucked it into the air. And they played that film for everyone in the coaching staff, and they said, guys, what would you do if you're Trey Jones? And everyone was like, yeah, you get rid of the ball. Where was that? Where was it? Nowhere. None.
Nope.
Zilch. You didn't bounce past it. You didn't try and you took 2 steps and then threw it into them. That's what happened. And then after that, granted, great shot by Mullins. That was actually fantastic. Deep bomber 2K level stuff. But Isaiah Evans, you've got to contest that. Fun fact, someone pointed this out. His Instagram handle was like get up and after him or something like that.
Huh.
And he did none of that.
Nope, not at all.
None.
He's got to change that handle.
No, seriously. More like let him shoot from
Let
there.
him, yeah.
Yeah, but oh boy, what a collapse from Duke.
Yeah. That's funny you mentioned that video because, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what you had to do in that moment. And I feel like when I watch NBA and college basketball, there's a lot of moments to take advantage of that. It takes one time in practice. Toss the ball up in the air, find out how much time you can throw a ball up into the air, right? How much time can you save? If that number's 5 seconds, if you look up on, and I know it's game time, you're not, your first thought isn't let me look up at the clock, see how much time's left. But if you know you're about to get trapped, the game's almost over, I know that if I throw the ball up in the air, it'll stay in there for 5 seconds. Just do that.
Yeah, that's kind of tunnel vision, to be honest. Like, if you're not gonna understand that, yeah, the defense is gonna play really tough on me, especially when it's a 2-point game and they're inbounding it 10 seconds. By the way, NCAA rules state that you can hold on to the ball for 10 seconds within your own court, like side of the court, without getting a penalty. It's 10 seconds. It's not 8 like it is in NBA. They could have held it and would have been fine.
And so worst case scenario, rip it out of his hands. Realistically, though, worst case scenario, jump ball. More than likely, though, I think becomes a foul. That's probably what would have happened if you just hung on to it.
Yeah.
Right? Probably becomes a foul.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world at all. And really, worst case scenario, jump ball. I'd take that over what just happened.
I think this game and then the Duke and UConn game that just happened, and then the Virginia Furman game are going to be the case studies for not to panic chuck the ball down the court. You have to know who you're passing it to. This isn't
It's not about who they were passing to. It's about not passing when there's 2 defenders right in front of you and you can't jump higher than their hands. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Trust me.
that too.
You're not that guy.
No, seriously, he's not that guy. Like it's a whole collapse, and I mean, sure, the pressure is mounting, but like this is the second time an ACC team has been afflicted with this disaster class of demolition of their team, especially to an unprecedented underdog.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan Hurley, he's really done some good stuff, but I mean, this isn't the first time Duke's done this.
Not at all. And I will add, before I get to some of these other examples, that stat, 134-0, number 1 seeds were when leading by 15 or more at halftime. I will say, I did want to do a deep dive into that stat, and I haven't gotten the chance to find out, like, okay, how many of those are, like, 1 versus 2, and how many is, like, first round 1 versus the 16 seed, because it's not really fair to compare. Like, you're almost punishing Duke for getting off to such a hot start against a top 5 basketball team, and you're lumping them into that category of teams that had a 15+ point lead. But still, I don't care who you're going against. If you have a 15-point lead at halftime, you win that game. Like, still, you win the game.
I find it funny that this is the one time they get off to a hot start in the tournament.
It's true.
Every single other game they've played in the tournament, mind you, has been close. St. John's, close.
Very close.
Siena, close. Siena only played 5 players. It was just their starters. There's no reason they should lose that, but they almost did for a while. That's concerning.
It's
you come out hot,
baffling.
but you can't finish.
but you also can come out and finish strong. But when you start the game, you're really weak, and it looks like some future business financiers are gonna like destroy your top seeded draft picks. Like, it doesn't make sense.
And it's not. I mean, UConn looked great in that second half, but it's not just like UConn was just hitting shot after shot after shot. Duke lost that game, right? Duke lost that game as much as UConn won it. I don't understand how you can put up 44 points against UConn in the first half, and then you look like that in the second half. Doesn't make sense to me. Not the same team at all.
No, not at all.
The Duke team that is the same team as what we just watched, though, I think it was 2025 Duke. Because same thing, amazing talent, on that roster. One of the best teams in college basketball, and they collapsed. They collapsed against Houston. So
really badly.
Yeah,
It was worse.
It was worse. Up 9 points with 3 minutes left against Houston in 2025. Rings a bell to this year. Up 9 points with 5 minutes left. I mean, you can look at any, point in the second half. Maybe it's 9 points, 10 points, 15 points. But once you get inside the last 5 minutes, that's where having a lead, like, there is no justification for losing it. You have a solid lead within 5 minutes of the game ending. You can't lose that. So that's what Duke did last year.
Yeah, and they had a star-studded roster. They had a Concanepal. They had Cooper Flagg.
Yep. They
have the current center, which is Ngongba. He's great. He's going to be a great draft pick. Isaiah Evans, again. It's just Tyrese Proctor. Y'all remember Tyrese Proctor?
Yeah, I mean that roster was even better than 2020. That was an incredible,
It's insane roster.
Incredibly talented and deep roster. But they didn't get it done. And Duke hasn't gotten it done since Coach K left. Duke has had some success for the most part, but it's like Tom Izzo's success. Like, you're making the tournament every year, you're making it relatively deep, but you're not winning it. And, it got me thinking, Duke hasn't had Duke-level success since Coach K left. Villanova, ever since Jay Wright left, they haven't had any success. They went first 3 years without making the tournament, then first-round exit. North Carolina, ever since Roy Williams, no success at all. And then it reminded me of, on the football side of things, you got Alabama, where, look, Saban has as strong of an argument as anyone for being the greatest college football coach ever. So, yeah, you're going to expect, some level of regression when he leaves. But this is a whole different Alabama football team. We're going from, like, a dynasty that wins every other year to a team that's not a real contender, right? They're a contender to make the playoff, and once you make the playoff, anything goes. But they haven't been a real contender since Saban's gone.
This is the era of the Big Ten
And
now.
it's definitely the era of the Big Ten, and the NIL has helped a lot with that. But it's also just, I think we took for granted a long time when we had these great coaches on historically great teams. And it's almost like the Belichick thing too, where we said, like, how much is because of the coach and how much is because of the team. Well, Villanova hasn't done anything since Jay Wright's gone. I think Jay Wright had a lot to do with that. Coach K, yeah, Duke has had success. Coach K would never lose a 15-point lead at halftime, and his players never in a million years would have, can I say, thrown it into double coverage? Like, is that, I don't even know what to call it. But
they did Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
I think you're 100% correct. I think in today's era of NIL, I think the number one thing that is going to push a team to the next level is the coaching.
Yeah.
Kurt Signetti.
Yeah.
That is the benchmark right now. You can turn a program around if you have the grit, if you have the determination. Coach O from like way long ago, he was working with so many star-studded prospects at LSU, but he made that team stick.
He did.
There was a reason Brian Kelly was, praised for a bit until some stuff came out. But this point still stands. There is a determination within a coach, this hard, tough love kind of attitude that is going to push the team to the next level. There's some one-in-a-lifetime coaches. John Wooden, one in a lifetime. Yeah. But you're definitely going to see nowadays, especially in the March Madness tournament, there's a lot of coaches who are really hardball coaches who've made a lot of tough moves and also have been criticized by their own fans, but they're still making moves happen. There are some, petering out coaches like Bill Self with Kansas.
Yeah.
That was tragic.
Yeah.
That was really tragic. But, for example, you have Rick Pitino with St. John's. He's been doing this for so long.
I was going to say Pitino is, to me, when you mention Signetti, Pitino is the college basketball version of that.
Right.
I mean, Signetti came out of nowhere. Pitino is, for the last 30 years, been one of the best college coaches. But the fact that he takes a team like Iona, comes out of nowhere, and then St. John's hasn't been relevant in half a century, he's the basketball example to me.
Yeah, he's got great players on that team. I love Zuby Ejiofor. I love Howard. They're both great. And I think that what he did was amazing. The press conference after the Kansas game, his point guard came up to him, who had not scored that game,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Coach, I got to play." And he's like, "You got to play? Okay, well, sure, whatever. Let's do it." And he blows by the best perimeter defender of Kansas and just
There you go.
lays it up. Boom. That is play calling. That's the trust in the player. That's the player trusting the coach to make the decision to trust him. That is just coaching right there. Without that level of, I guess, chemistry within the team, without that fortitude, you're not going to get far. And you could see that with a lot of the coaches who are coaching in the Final Four now.
Mm-hmm.
And also in certain, really tough divisions, because UConn's division was brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Dan Hurley versus Mick Cronin, which is two really tough coaches. And that game could have gone either way. It kind of fell off at the end, but that game could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Those are two tough coaches who turned their team around and really showed them that, we can make upsets. UCLA beat Illinois. Illinois is now in the Final Four. Anyone can win at this point. It's up to the coach to really take what the players they have from the NIL transfer portal, which they sometimes have influence on. Not all coaches have that level of influence.
It's true.
And then work with that and try and convert that into a championship caliber team in a league where hundreds of other coaches are trying to do the same thing. It's up to the coach. I think that's just basically the defining factor.
Has it not always been like that, though?
I think there's some special cases where you could say that there was the players. Like LSU with wide receiver U. That team was not losing. Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, that team was not losing. Like, there are some teams where it's like, okay, this is like the miracle team. This is like the unstoppable force that is going to go in and flood the league and just dominate.
But Joe Burrow was at the helm of that team, and he didn't have a home in college football.
No.
LSU took a chance on him.
Exactly.
So I'd still say that's an example of a coach taking a chance on a player, trusting that player. And I get your point that like Joe Burrow was never going to lose with his receivers, whereas now we're having like Dan Hurley just doing whatever with any player. But I don't know. I mean, I still think like ever since before NIL, we easily saw the impact of coaches. It seems like there were, both in football and basketball, there were like 5 clearly the best college basketball coaches. These are the guys that are going to be in the tournament every year. They're going to be in the Final Four every year. It's going to be Coach K, Roy Williams, Self, Jay Wright, Calipari, like those guys, right? And then, football hasn't, faded off as much, but Saban was obviously at the helm. Now it's just anyone's game.
Yeah, it was Saban, Kirby, Coach O, Harbaugh, kind of. Lincoln on a different program, mind you. Yeah, still a bit miffed about that. But yeah, Pete Carroll.
Yeah, definitely him if you want to.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and Coach O definitely had to take a chance. But Joe Burrow's story as a whole is pretty crazy to hear. But once they got into the swing of things, once that switch was flipped. And they just did not lose ever since, Joe Burrow got, hit sticked and everyone was like, oh, this is the story. There's kind of stories where it's like, oh, okay. But then you look at, the recent NCAA tournament and you're like, Indiana beat, they won by how much?
Yeah. That's just all coaching.
Yeah, it's football coaching. And you could argue, oh, but some of these players were actually in were in Trevor Lawrence's draft class. It's like, so is Carson Beck. Why isn't he performing, but this team is? It's kind of a thing like that, where you really have to look in and be like, with NIL, I think the cherry on top that makes everything taste just so right is the coach. Yeah. And that's something we just can't forget.
Let's talk more about college basketball coaches. I First, we talked about him, the last couple minutes, but Dan Hurley, are we in agreement? He is the best coach in college basketball.
100%,
Okay.
without a doubt. I mean, he is almost bringing this new feeling back into the love of like basketball coaches who are really aggressive. I see a lot of Dan Hurley and a lot of other coaches. Ben McCollum, for example, with
Okay.
Iowa.
Yeah.
That guy was foaming at the mouth. They
Yeah.
were down like 10 points against Nebraska. Like, yeah.
Those passionate coaches.
I get that.
yellers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the players were like, yeah, he like blew up the clipboard and the marker ink went everywhere. And it was like, that's a Dan Hurley type of move.
That is.
And Dan Hurley, I think it's some statistic like that. He's only missed one Elite Eight in the past few seasons. That's ridiculous. And the last time they lost by before then, they were like the 8th seed against number 1 like UNC. That's ridiculous. If you're producing such consistency, it's unreal. Back to back also. We can't forget he did that as well.
Yeah, those back-to-back titles. And the other thing about, whatever that stat is about the Elite Eight, you could say similar things even now about, Duke after Coach K's been gone. But I would say, Duke was left in, an incredible state, whereas when Hurley took over UConn, it wasn't quite that. And Hurley's also done that with, what were the other seeds that UConn was? Because now they're consistently 1s and 2s, but they were like a 5 seed that one year. Like, they were underdogs. They weren't a Cinderella, but they were underdogs, and he performed. So that's what's really impressive to me about him. Other than him, though, let me ask you this. I don't need, definitive rankings from you, but how far is the gap from Hurley and everyone else?
Like,
whoever that number 2 may be, or maybe it's a group for you, whatever it may be, is he right there with them? Is he in a league of his own? Is he a little tier above?
This is tough because I think there's some consistency that you see within coaches where you're like, okay, Spartans haven't missed a playoff in I don't know how long.
Yeah,
like 18.
Izzo's always there in March.
Izzo is always there.
But he's not there in the championship.
What happened against UConn before Duke was crazy. Like, that was like a full-on breakdown of the Spartans team. Cohen couldn't get off the line, and Fears had some trouble. But I think Izzo's up there. I would say Bill Self still. He's still got a title under his belt. Granted, their whole argument in the SEC and whatnot and Big 12 where they're like, well, Kansas is always not performing well and they're not consistent and they lost their win streak and tournament streak way back when. It's like, sure, he's still winning though.
He is.
I think there is also, you have to look at Kentucky and kind of just go, what's going on with this program?
And then look at Arkansas and say Calipari's up there.
Calipari, 100%. Yeah. I think there is a very big defensive hole in the Arkansas current team, and that was kind of revealed against Arizona.
Yeah.
But I do think Calipari's up there, and with developing young players as well, I think Acuff is the example of that.
Yep.
But I think it's a pretty substantial gap. I think Izzo is right under. Izzo and Self are right here. And Hurley's right up here.
Yeah.
Because you got Houston, right? But Houston is a basketball school, and same with kind of Florida. They obviously are getting transfers, and their coaches in moments where there is a clutch decision and consistency, it's these are the three. It's Self. I'll put Self above Izzo, and then Hurley just way up at top, and then everyone else below.
All the guys you're talking about, Izzo, the big thing is consistency, but he doesn't really make it too deep in March. He's always just he's always there, Sweet 16, sometimes Elite 8. It's about as far as it gets for him. Self, he has 2 natties, 2 national championships, and he has that one in, 2022. But it's ever since then, when you're the coach of Kansas, when you're the coach of a blue blood, it's like Lincoln Riley. USC,
get some help.
USC was a good football team last year. But if you're the head coach of USC and that's the product, you're not doing your job to the best of your ability or to the best of what a an elite coach's ability would be, because USC should be better than that.
True.
With Kansas, like is they're a 5 seed or a 4 seed this year, right?
Yeah.
Sure, solid, right? And close game against St. John's, whatever. If you're Kansas and you're the head coach and that's what you're doing every year and that's what's keeping you in conversations for being one of the best coaches, I fundamentally disagree with that. If you're the head coach of Kansas and you're in a tight matchup against St. John's, Pitino is the better coach. Like, Pitino is an awesome coach.
Fantastic.
And so to me, it's Hurley's up here because we can talk about, consistently making the tournament. Well, he's up there. What about consistently winning it? Well, he's also there. And what about having taken over a team that wasn't like taking over a Duke team where they just handed you the keys to the best team in college basketball? Hurley didn't necessarily take that over. He does all of that. To me, the next closest thing is Pitino. Pitino has 2 or 3 national championships in his life. He's done it at Kentucky and Louisville, but Iona brought success to them. Now he's at St. John's, which historically, technically a basketball school, but last 50 years, not so much. So to me, like, he's actually kind of close to Hurley, but I agree with you for all those other coaches. Those are the next guys up. There is such a big gap.
I mean, in defense of Bill Self, real quick, he's not Lincoln Riley because he's actually won a title.
Fair. The Bill Self's prime, absolutely better than Lincoln Riley.
100%.
But the last couple of years, I see the exact same thing in him as I do in Lincoln Riley. He hasn't always won those close games. He has a really, really strong program that should be competing any given year, and he doesn't. He's okay being good. He's okay that Kansas is good, not great.
Well, he did win an NCAA tournament, and I just wanted to confirm on the year.
He's 22, right?
22.
Yeah.
Yes. That was pretty recent. And considering and looking at just like on the modern state of college basketball, I think that is a great achievement that just kind of just throws him up here because it shows that he can work with, sure, it's a blue blood school. Sure, it's a basketball school, but he actually won, even with everything else going on. Like, he actually won, and that's why I got to give him his flowers.
That's fair.
Like, Pitino did all of that, like, way back when, and sure, he's a great coach. As I said, I gave him his flowers with St. John's. But I 100% think that Bill Self is the current core of this team. And it's going to be a sad thing when DP leaves and he's going to have to, I guess, build up from scratch. But there was a lot of things where the players or the fans were like, Bill Self might leave. And they were distraught. Yeah. So many of them. On Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. I saw so many people distraught that this coach was going to leave. Even though he just blew a game they basically had to lose. And I was like, yeah, the Kansas fans really do appreciate Bill Self. And that kind of chemistry thing that I was talking about earlier with like Kurt Signetti and the fans of the players, Bill Self is up there. Izzo gets respect. Not to the level of like, Hurley, but I think Self deserves some of his flowers. That's just all I have to say.
I agree. I wish I should have had some stats pulled up. I wonder how many times Duke was a 4 seed under Coach K. I wonder how many times UNC was a 4 seed under Roy. Like, I mean, 2022, awesome, and I agree. If he hadn't won that, I'd be looking at him and say, he's what, mid-60s, he's getting older, he's been there for a while, and he hasn't repeated the success he's had in his prime. It looks like he's fading off.
Yeah, that checks.
Yeah.
That tracks. I mean, Coach K is Coach K.
Yeah, and I don't mean to compare Self to Coach K. It's not a fair comparison, but I think Bill Self has been put in those conversations.
Come on now.
I'm not trying to compare him, but I think I've heard those comparisons.
What do you mean by that?
I mean,
You don't. I mean, you're saying he's basically number 2 in NCAA right now.
currently, I'd say so.
But you still think there's just such a big gap between him and someone like Coach K?
No, Hurley is like basically, think of Hurley as the sun. Bill
Hurley's
Self.
the sun.
Yeah, Hurley.
I'm waiting to hear. what
Hurley
this
is the
means.
sun. Bill Self is like Saturn. Like if this is orbit and this is the solar system and we got like who's closest to the sun. Bill Self is at Saturn.
Okay.
It's a big jump. It's a big jump. But I don't
So
know.
Hurley's the sun.
Yeah.
Where's Coach K?
Oh, Coach K?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't expecting Coach K to be in this equation. Ooh.
Well, because I've just heard comparisons at this point. Because once him and Roy left, Bill's kind of the last one that's like left of that era, kind of, who was stayed with one of those blue blood schools for 20 plus years and brought success to him.
I would say Coach K would be just like, I don't know, cop out. He's the galaxy. Like he's the foundation of
That's
which
fair.
all coaches in the modern era are, existing in after him. But I don't know. I was really expecting just to be in the Hurley tier, not the Coach K tier, where I'm like, oh, forgot a spot. Anyway,
Before we talk more about science and the solar system, I want to talk really quickly. So Vegas expansion team in the NBA
Yes.
got approved to be searching, or at least consider a team. It's probably going to happen, I feel like. Initial thoughts.
I think it's good. And if you guys don't know, the Super Bowl in 2029 is going to be in Vegas. So Vegas, I think, is going to become a hub for sports. Like it's going to be a new sports hub. You see like a lot of like MMA events there. You got the Golden Knights doing good stuff with NHL. They got a title, and they also got like the Dome. They got stuff going on in the Dome. Like there's so much to happen there, and there's so much sports real estate. This is just only better for both the leagues, but also like Las Vegas as a whole.
It's great for the league. It's great for local businesses. It's great for the city. It is not great for the fan.
Oh, no.
Vegas is the opposite of a sports city. It is not a sports city. People want to talk about how LA isn't a sports city because, fair weather fans, when the Lakers aren't good, no one goes to crypto. When the Dodgers weren't good before, they just spent all their money they wanted to, Dodger Stadium wasn't always packed. LA can't handle two teams because the Clippers don't have anyone in their arena. The Chargers don't have anyone going to their games because they can only handle the Rams. Vegas is not a sports city. People aren't ready to talk about that because they keep winning, at least in the NHL. Vegas is not a sports city. We're going to keep talking about that, though, in the next block. Stay tuned. 2 minutes. We're going to keep talking Vegas. They are not a sports city. Are we doing anything else?
And welcome back to the Talk of Troy. It's time for our final segment of the night. And yeah, we were just talking about Vegas earlier in the last segment. Nolan, I mean, you kind of teased us a little bit, but yeah, the NBA, it's not a matter of time of if, it's a matter of when. Yeah. And by the 2029 season, the Seattle, probably, most definitely, Supersonics and a team in Las Vegas are going to be added to the NBA. First thoughts, first reactions.
I'm going to continue what I said and say, well, okay, everyone knows my thoughts on how Vegas is not a sports city. It is not a sports city. People want to say LA is not a sports city. The West Coast isn't a sports coast. Vegas is the epitome of a big city with a lot of like economic production and relevance that should never have a professional sports team in that city because it's not a sports city. But it's going to succeed because of that, economic production, just, total population, tourism, and then sports gambling. That has so much of an impact.
Sounds like a sports city to me.
Let me ask you a question. Is Sacramento a sports city?
No.
No, I've been there.
No.
All right. Is
Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, those are the only 3 sports cities on the West Coast. As someone from San Diego is not a sports city.
Yeah, no,
they're
I
a little
agree.
too laid back
It's not a
for that,
sports
right?
city.
I guess, but I don't know, man. I think that Las Vegas has a lot of pluses for just to be a team. Like, I think there's a lot of advantages, not just from a fiscal standpoint, but like I think that you could see some crazy people from Vegas.
Yeah, I was gonna say
as like devoted sports fans. I know for sure that first season, none of those floor seats are going to be open.
No.
Every one of those rich people that go to Vegas or just spend hundreds, thousands of dollars gambling, they're going to be like, I want season tickets on the floor.
it's gonna be a unique culture. I will say. I think it's gonna have one of the most unique identities for the NBA. Like, it's obviously going to be brand new, and I think it'll become something. Not going to say it's going to be great by any means. Like, it won't be a great culture, but you will have, like, some of the funniest, I think, clips from them for over the course of the next few years, just for them.
Just not the clips that
But, like,
I want to see from a sports program. Like, I love watching crazy, delusional fans. I love watching, all the fans that share the same team as Jude, right? Cowboy fans. Notorious. They are horrible but hilarious. It's I mean, the most overdone stray, but there's a reason for it, because Cowboy fans, as much as we like to hate on them, it's really funny to watch their reactions and their delusion.
I mean, if we look at like devout sports fans, like Philadelphia, though,
Philadelphia,
like
great example.
Like the Eagles, Eagles fans are to me. I might be a biased Niners fan, but they
Insufferable.
because they wouldn't say the same thing.
but
about
but
Cowboy
they're
fans,
also
Jude, right.
but they're definitely a sports town. So it's like you can have insufferable from anywhere. I feel like it doesn't matter geologically where they might be from. It's just like there's gonna be some haters.
But they're insufferable because of their fandom and their delusion. Vegas fans are going to be insufferable because they're insufferable. Like, they're not insufferable.
Like just people that live in Vegas.
It's if it attracts just a bunch of tourists and people that don't care about the team, and you're just gonna get these like crackheads that are like from Vegas and not like actual locals. Because I don't know. I mean, I don't know the sports politics of Vegas.
I think Raiders fans in
they'll-
Vegas
yeah, they'll
they still
coalesce.
show out. Like
What
they might
percent are
not be in
locals?
Oakland anymore,
Okay,
but like.
I think you're looking at this too deep. Like, I think the wide breadth of Vegas has a lot of really, really, really devoted sports fans, like what you said with the Raiders. Like, there is definitely potential. That's why the NBA has chosen this as a potential location.
Well, I think they chose it for the money.
Oh, a lot
That,
of money. Lot
but
of
also-
Fun fact: the Raiders are, according to Forbes' last release or whatever, the Raiders are the 9th most valuable NFL franchise.
Wow.
That is absurd. The Raiders suck. They have always sucked. I was a Chargers fan until the Chargers left San Diego, and we were one of the laughingstocks of the NFL, and so were they. And that's what made the rivalry so awesome, because both teams sucked. And now all of a sudden the Chargers go to LA and they're a little more valuable than they were before, but the Rams are here, so Chargers can't be super valuable. But the Raiders go to Las Vegas, and all of a sudden they're a top 10 most valuable franchise, but they can't get a check mark in the win column. That's why the NBA wants to go to Vegas.
I mean, you also might see the NBA wanting to go to Vegas because they realize what Vegas is going to become. It's not going to become a city where our sports suck, because the Raiders from 5 years from now, they might be really damn good. And I think that if you set that precedent that, like, hold on now, you start investing in us, we're going to deliver. I think an NBA team in Vegas might be that. Now, it depends. Okay, first of all, I think they would provide a huge thing about reigniting the whole thing about free agency, because not only there would be an expansion draft, I think it would just really want players, free agents, to be like, I want to be the guy that basically has the franchise, the face of the franchise of the first team ever in Las Vegas. That's going to create some really good opportunity for some guys that
John
maybe
Morant.
didn't have.
It's gonna be John Morant.
It's not going to be John Morant.
John Morant
on.
could do the funniest thing ever and sign to the Las Vegas.
Please.
Insert name here. What team names would you have for a Las Vegas NBA team?
What about?
Because they have the Aces. And
I feel like it's got to be something to do with like a card name.
I said
Yeah.
the Spades.
The Spades
Oh,
is
that's
nice.
not bad.
What about like the Las Vegas Flush?
Flush?
Yeah.
No,
no.
Like a
Like
card
a
hand.
toilet?
No, like a card hand.
That's the first thing I would. If I read Flush on my
I'd
t-shirt.
flush that down the toilet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if no,
They
I
would
get
do
it.
that instead of burning
if it's got,
jerseys. They
like-
would flush
Yeah, but, like,
jerseys.
hold on, no, because I could see what you're saying, but I don't think you just go flush. You'd have to go royal, but you wouldn't put you couldn't
can't put
royals.
royals.
'cause
Can't put, no.
You have the royals already, so it's like
The royal flushes.
no, the royal flush is the most memeable.
The
thing.
Las Vegas House. House always wins.
House always wins.
No,
Right
but
off
that's what
that
they'll-
gambling.
But that's
term.
what they'll call
That's
the
a good
name. That'll be
brand.
like the fans, like the fan section will be the
That would be like
house.
the We the North kind
Yeah.
of thing.
like House Nation.
But
like,
I don't
you
think
see
your
that.
team name can just be the house.
No.
Yeah.
Plus, it's
What about the chips?
The chips? The chips get to win the chip.
I
Chips on the board.
don't hate
it's
it.
not bad.
The roulette.
They're definitely
The
gonna,
roulette.
but I do definitely
Start
think they're
picking
gonna like
names.
rely on the casino-esque kind of thing. I think that's gonna.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, Jude. What about you? What do you got? Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No.
The
The
casino.
the bandits.
That's true.
Bandits
man.
isn't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like the Jokers?
The Jokers.
Yeah.
Then
Wouldn't that
Jokic better
funny?
be on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
That'd be a pretty sick name. I
The
mean,
Jokers.
I don't know what what would the color scheme be. I mean, I know there's been like a lot of like
Oh, red,
Red
and
and
black.
black,
made
right.
stuff,
Red
red and black.
Red and black with white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red. Well.
It's a good color scheme.
I feel like
Yeah. Red, black, gold.
how
and-
many
Those
red
jerseys
and
would
black
go
teams do we
crazy.
have in the league right now? We have the
Rap-
Portland Trail Blazers, we have the Rockets, we have the Miami Heat,
Raptors.
we have
Ra-
the
yeah.
Raptors.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red and black
There's
teams.
a lot of red and black.
If they could somehow get around that and do different color, that'd be nice.
They could put gold as a primary, and then
I mean, I'm gonna say all those red and black jerseys, like they're good. Like
They're
it's
tough.
all-
No,
all-
red-
like,
hey,
all
red's
those
my
teams,
favorite
like,
color.
They've got some of
So-
the better jerseys in the NBA.
what about what about gold and black? Like
Gold
the,
and black would be
because
fire.
then you're staying similar with the Gold Knights.
I remember when
I
the
mean,
that sounds like a
Raptors did like
Yamaha.
gold and black jerseys,
Yeah,
like in
that.
collaboration with Drake. Like that. Those
Oh,
are sick.
yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Those are pretty sick.
That sounds like the black and
Those were
gold
really
reminds
cool,
me of those like way out, far out like desert ads you get for like Yamava Casino and
Oh,
Resort,
jeez.
and it's got like the come see this like magical night, and it's got like the gold logo and like the black like background for the ad and everything. That's what it would feel like.
yeah,
honestly.
you could. They could do the. This is a terrible name, but you could do the Cash.
The cash.
Las Vegas Cash.
Las Vegas Cash. It is a terrible name.
Hey, don't worry.
Listen,
you
we're
gotta
riffing,
put
we're
the reps
riffing.
up. You gotta put the reps up.
This
Yeah,
is only
listen,
the
hey,
brainstorming.
and then you got
It's-
some. Right, because we have a phone call coming in.
Hopefully they don't
in a week.
pull Washington football team like they don't.
Washington,
The
the
Las Vegas team.
basketball team.
Hey, the football team was tough. I like that, Dave. I was like, it's so bad, it's awesome.
Like it caught on.
yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
When they
I can
switched to
see
Commanders
it.
and it's
I
like,
can see it. Listen, it's not any better than Commanders in my opinion, but it's like it was just not as outright. We are a football team. We are a basketball team. like they're.
Oh.
Another double number.
Yeah, but the 76ers is so close.
Who would be called the Sixers though?
Probably the 76ers.
Oh,
Facts, Loki.
The process happened.
And the question would be, who would be on that championship winning team?
Not John Morant.
Not John Morant. Well, hold on.
Never know.
He would be an hilarious face of that team, by the way. But no, bring that up because obviously you got to talk expansion draft. You have expansion teams with an expansion draft.
Yeah.
So, with that, if for your team specifically, everyone can we just like there's 8 players that you protect from an expansion draft. Who are they on your team? Right? We could start with your Clippers.
I also one
is an
thing I
interesting one.
feel like no one thinks about is just the payroll that you have right now. Like
Yeah.
I do feel like I should consider that.
Hey, Bradley
So
Beal's still on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He is not
The
protected.
minimum is also 8.
No.
You have to protect 8.
Yeah, I mean, there's honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's the minimum?
Oh,
There is no minimum.
There's no minimum. I want nobody. Take everyone.
yeah.
Maximum's 8.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. The Clippers don't have 8 that
Ooh.
I feel like I would need to protect.
I actually
Okay.
second that for the Lakers.
You second that for
I
the
don't. I don't
Lakers.
think.
I don't think
most,
we need 8.
I don't know if most.
But what about your depth players?
I don't know if most teams would. I don't know. Like, for me, it's Kawhi, Garland, Collins, Mathurin.
For sure.
Yeah, Matherin's been awesome.
DDJ.
Sanders, Miller. That's about it.
Okay.
Man.
Fair. Your Lakers, you're saying you wouldn't protect 8 of these guys?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. See, thank you. I mean, for all my Lakers fans out there, I think we all can agree with this. Our days with LeBron are numbered, so I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be.
I know where you're going with this.
The king goes to Vegas?
I'm sorry, brother. Like, LeBron's not even gonna be in the league by that point. But also,
Yeah, come on.
okay. But
hypothetical, huh?
you know what? You know what LeBron's saying in that expansion draft? He's saying no. He's retiring before he goes. Well, okay.
The king
Yeah.
in Vegas.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a rule in the NBA like there is in the NFL where like Tom Brady can't come out and be an active player because he's an owner?
Oh.
Like, would that be
It's got
Yeah.
okay? So it is a rule in the NBA.
LeBron
as well.
starting the inaugural game.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
What?
But okay, of my team,
Yeah.
Austin Reeves,
Sure.
Luka Doncic.
Yep.
I love that you put Reeves first.
Hey, you know where's my
You gotta know where the hometown, talent is grown.
Uh-huh.
And
You guys can't even accept him. Like,
what, Luka?
yeah, you said
I
you
accept
gotta-
Luka.
So you're because he's not hometown
This is a
grown.
fallacy.
Oh.
Ref, this is a fallacy.
Now we have you in 4K, pal. I
No,
don't
Ref,
know.
that's a fallacy. He said, "Oh, because you put him first, you actually don't care about Luka."
Yeah, but
No,
why was he on the first? Why
I
was he
just,
the
I
first
just,
name
I
that
just
pops
noticed
in?
it. It's just like
he's
one
been
of
on
those.
the Lakers longer. He's
One of those,
already
one of
been-
those, things that like people say in passing. It's just like, oh, okay,
Something you notice.
That's psychologically, that's where you went to first.
Okay,
you know?
well, you can't call me out on that, can you?
I just
Why?
did.
He just did.
I think I can plead the fifth or something.
Okay.
This
So
is
you have those
ridiculous.
two. Okay,
so
we got it.
AR Luka, and
He did it
then
again. He did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take
Luka's
two
gonna have no
young
home to call.
players who JJ Redick does not play, but I want them to. But I want him to play.
Hmm.
I want Ado Thiero and I want Nick Smith, and then because you need some young players.
No. Listen, I agree.
And then give me
4 more max.
Marcus Smart, who's not. His contract isn't
The heart and
crazy.
soul of Boston.
Mhm.
And then maybe Luke Kennard, and then Aiden. I'll take Aiden.
Rui?
Is that 8?
Rui? Where's Rui?
He's gone.
Oh, bye-bye, Rui.
Yeah, I mean,
He
I
said
think
no Hachimura.
I mean, sure, the front court is looking a bit empty there. The front court's looking a bit empty there, but in respect to a lot of the contracts on the Lakers, one of the hottest names on the trade block for the Lakers is Rui. So, if
So
you're gonna,
Rui, Aiton,
Yeah.
and so you can't.
I'll end it there.
Oh,
Like,
he's ending
yeah.
it. Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think you need 8.
No.
I agree. We gotta have a center.
Luka
That's not Jackson
Garza.
Hayes. I agree. I agree. I've actually mocked that. That's a great idea.
Poor DK. Poor Dalton Connect, man.
Yeah. Dalton's getting sent away.
He's getting
He does.
banished. He's this time. This time he'll actually leave.
Yeah. Not get faked out by
Get vetoed.
yeah. And then he just sold out on the team. He was just like,
Bro, his heart
guess
left.
you-
His heart left him.
I
He had
guess
no
you
heart.
guys don't want me. I guess I'll stay around.
Yeah.
That's basically how it is.
Yes, sir.
You go first, because
Rapid fire for the. Okay, so Knicks obviously Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart obviously, Mikal Bridges. I want to
Hart.
keep him. OG. You got to keep the starting 5
Yeah, you
because you're
keep-
not going to
yeah.
let Cat get taken away. So those 5. Now you get 3. I really like the depth on the Knicks, so that makes it really hard because Alvarado's looked really good. So I don't want to see his time at the Knicks come to an end that quickly. So I'd keep him. And now things get sketchy because you have
got
you
two
have
more.
McBride, Robinson, Kolek, and Diawara, who are all very good, and Clarkson. You know one of those names are going away. I can't keep all of them. I stick with Kolek and
for the culture.
Kolek for the dude, he's good. And I don't think they're gonna take Mitchell Robinson from us if we don't protect him. But so Diawara, probably.
Okay.
I was about to say, if you let go of Mitchell Robinson, after what we just said in the last segment, man, it feels like the
No,
Andy, I don't want to play with you anymore.
No, I love Robinson, but my thing is the only reason I don't protect him, I don't think anyone's gonna take Robinson if
I
you're
agree.
picking.
No, I get you.
Otherwise, it'd be him
Mitchell
all the way.
Robinson, let's say Las Vegas jersey would be kind of disgusting.
No. Tony?
For me,
Pick
it's
a team?
tough because I technically have only my allegiance to Kevin Durant.
So you just take
And-
him 8 times.
And the
Kevin
NBA,
Durant.
Kevin Durant.
they
Cannot
are
touch
making a script that KD is going to because his last year his contract runs out in 28-29, so he would technically be able to sign as a free agent to the Seattle SuperSonics.
Oh.
Therefore, I wouldn't have to worry about my man getting left out on the board for an expansion draft, and it'd be a perfect retirement tour for him.
Him and all his 7 burner accounts could all go to Seattle.
Hey, you know what? I'll say this. I believe every professional athlete should feel free to use social media in the way that Kevin Durant does.
Okay.
Mm.
Good clarification on the way.
I don't.
If I were going to go to the Rockets for this current example, I would do Amen Thompson
Yeah.
first, Alperen Şengün, Jabari Smith Jr., Fred VanVleet, Steven Adams,
It's a good list.
and then this.
You have
Reed Shepard,
Yes.
and for the last one,
could do
am I forgetting someone?
Tari or Finney Smith. You
I
have
mean,
those two?
technically Kevin, but
Kevin Durant, yeah.
but he's a free agent, so
Sorry, Eason upscale.
Fred VanVleet.
I don't keep Tari Eason.
That
Okay.
yeah.
I'm not upset about
I just
that.
kind of let him go. I don't need to sign this man to another $50 million contract. So
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe Jay Sean Tate, Uncle Jeff. You can stick around, just for a little bit longer until you want to
There you
retire.
I like that list.
Notice how I said the best player first.
Oh.
True. And I
That's
said
not what
Jalen
I
Brunson
meant.
first.
but that's fine. I mean, unless you want to take us away, Jude, if you wanted to give us your team.
Fair.
All right.
Love that guy.
Exactly.
You know it.
Do they waste it or can they even find it?
Oh my goodness.
You cannot say that. You cannot say that.
Oh,
I'm
Josh
just saying.
Hart.
I'm just saying.
all the Knicks.
Talon Horton Tucker was a household Laker name for a while, but because media wants, he's on the Lakers and LeBron didn't want to trade him away.
Everyone has our
Kyle
Jalen
Lowry.
Hood Shafinos. Everyone has those players, not just the Lakers. You can't just.
But where did they
cherry pick.
become great at? Where did Brandon Ingram become great at?
Seriously.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Le GM. Listen, the Lakers are great at being one of the league's best front offices. But as far as development, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the Lakers. But don't you remember? Not just starting off with Showtime. It wasn't Magic and Kareem. Kareem was acquired. He went to the Lakers. He left Milwaukee. Magic started on the Lakers for sure. Kobe Bryant. I mean, he was a trade acquisition technically, but but yeah, you know what? That's all the time we got. Thank y'all for watching so much. We'll see you on Wednesday. Peace out.
Peace.
In